Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has officially been placed on Interpol's Red Notice list. The special prosecutor earlier this week announced moves to have him extradited following his failure to return to Ghana to answer corruption-related questions. Now, the notice made public on the 5th of June 2025 intensifies international efforts to locate and provisionally arrest the former minister, who is currently believed to be in the United States receiving medical treatment. The 65-year-old, wanted on charges of using public office for profit, is described by Interpol as a Ghanaian male born on November 7, 1959 in Accra, with black hair and eyes, standing 1.7 meters tall. He speaks both English and Twi. Now, this marks the second time Mr. Ofori-Atta has been declared wanted by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Earlier this year, he was labelled a fugitive from justice after failing to comply with an official summons related to corruption investigations, including probes into the National Cathedral project and a provisional revenue assurance contract with Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, and ultimately to answer questions on corruption and procurement breaches. We're joined on the line now by fraud and security analyst Richard Kumadoe. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Mr. Kumadoe, we know of the implications of getting listed on Interpol's red list. It goes beyond an arrest and extradition. One's reputation, financial dealings, and professional life are equally impacted, right?
Definitely, yes. And the risk goes beyond the individual. Sometimes when we do the profiling to the third level or to the fifth level, it affects your immediate bloodline, it affects your associations, it affects your businesses, and it affects your acquaintances. Then when it comes to some transactions and activities you might want to engage in certain parts of the world, issues of fraud, financial crime, and money laundering, and crime-related red flags will always pop up, and you and all the people that have been affected will have some questions to answer. This is the reason. The Interpol platform is a very huge platform with a lot of followers, and all investigative agencies and prosecutorial institutions, departments, and units are all going to have access to your profile, and they will expand the spread to other databases that goes way beyond the Interpol platform. Financial institutions, service providers, border control, and many other institutions get involved. And those are the levels of red flags you are going to be dealing with. And that is why it's not a funny thing when you are declared wanted or fugitive.
It's not a funny thing you say, and people are saying that perhaps the lawyers of Mr. Ofori-Atta could have done better knowing the implications. Would you share that same view with them? Definitely
what I said to one of them to tell them. Definitely. Because these are not things you take lightly. It's not just the immediate person. And Beatrice, when we do the profiling or law enforcement agencies do the profiling, these are things that are going to stay in the database for life. And people with your surname are going to be affected whether they are directly related to you or not. So I was thinking they would have made halfway, considering the fact that there's bad blood and there's confrontation and agitation between the OSP's office and the lawyers. They could have made halfway rather than allowing him to be declared fugitive and a wanted person. It goes way beyond what we are thinking. It's not just when you kill somebody. We are talking about businesses and personalities and families and associates, and your name pops up all over the world when it comes to all databases. And you'll be hiding in your room or wherever you go, you are a fugitive. Because I can tell you, in one of the countries across the group, a person was declared wanted and fugitive. Local investigators were sent to the country they suspect the fugitives to have been living. And lo and behold, they got closer to the person, arrested the person, and brought the person back home to stand trial. So there are various options at the disposal of the special prosecutor or any of the law enforcement agencies that might want to get involved. And I'm thinking the lawyers should have done a good job by getting to them in a halfway, particularly when we are one family in this country, and we might want to extend hate or something to that level. But hey, they choose the other option, And this is an option for the special prosecutor, and that is why he exercised it.
Could the challenge be that they perhaps didn't take the OSP seriously?
I should think so. I think they want to, the way we established this whole special prosecutor's office, and it was a campaign promise, and the man who championed and campaigned for it, our uncle, the first lawyer, the troubles he had with the president, Amidu. Then the special prosecutor, Ajabe, came in and find out who was Ajabe before he came into this particular role. Go back again and refresh your minds when he went to vetting and some of the things he said. He is living by those things. And they try to bully him, and it's not working. They try to say, we give you a job, and it's not working. They try to say, you are a small boy, and it's not working. They try to say, we passed the law exams before you, and it's not working. So I think at this stage, considering the posture of this particular attorney general and the relationship he has developed with all the law enforcement and investigative agencies, I think all lawyers must tread cautiously and let professionalism be at the forefront instead of personalities and who we were born before and who we know. That might not work in this particular case, and that is what we are saying.
I want to believe that being on this alert or list would also mean that your financial dealings would be looked at as well. How do you expect that to, what kind of implication do you foresee on his businesses, one, and also the fact that we understand lawyers of the former minister told the special prosecutor that he was undergoing a prostate cancer treatment. That would require a lot of money as well. How do you foresee that playing out? He needs to move money around, and yet perhaps this could also affect monitoring in terms of his finances.
If they were smart enough, this morning I woke up, I didn't know you were going to grant you, but those are the things that came to mind. If they were smart enough, they could disassociate him from some other businesses. That may create a lane way for him, or families may come to your aid. But to the extent that profiling will be done, if these family members are captured, it means that every money that moves, two things come to being: suspicious transaction and unusual transactions, and they are going to be scrutinized at the highest level. Not even when you are in Ghana, it goes way beyond all over the world. The FBI, the MI6, all the agencies all the big ones and the small ones and the units we might not even know, private investigators, almost everybody comes into the domain and they pick your data and set up their own profiling and they set up red flags. So definitely movement of money, assets and resources could be a problem. But if they are smart enough, they may play smart in some other ways, and some friends who might not come within the catchment area might come to his aid, and that might help him in that regard. Because for we investigators, we don't really care whether you are sick or you are not sick, because you can be tried in absentia, and even when you are dead, your dead body could be tried. Those are options available to them. So that thing, we shouldn't be using the sickness so much. But we should say that we are Ghanaians and we have responsibilities and we are being held accountable. We can meet halfway and make sure that the question that will be asked will be provided with some answers. Then we'll move on from there. And that's the way that I think we should run with this thing.
Mr. Kumadoe, thank you so much for speaking to us.
You're welcome.